Okay, so here's another problem like that where we're finding the equation for a line that passes through 2 points. This is problem 32 from test 3 review, and I have assigned x1 and y1 to the first point, x2 and y2 to the second point. And this is the equation, because we need to find a slope before we can fully use the equation of a line. So I'm going to plug in y2 minus y1, and I will get those from here. -6 is y2, and I'm going to subtract, according to my formula, y1. So I go over here, this is x1, here's y1, so I have to minus 9. So I like to put those in parentheses just to keep track of things. And that's going to be over x2. So we look here, here's our x2, which is 7. Here's our formula, minus the x1. So we look over here, here's our x1, which is 8. So if we remember our integer rules, we have to add the opposite. We make 9 the opposite of -9. And we find the difference between the numbers, which is 3, and we assign the sign of the larger number, -6. 6 is smaller than 9, so the larger number is 9, and it is positive, which means 3 is positive. Okay, so then over here we do the same thing. We have to plus the opposite. The opposite of positive 8 is -8. And we do our integer rules, find the difference, which is 1. The larger number now is 8, so it's -1. So overall now we have a -3 slope. So our slope is -3, and that is m according to our equation for a line. So what we need to do next is find b. And as I said before, this is not b. 7x, this x and this y is their own point. This 8 and this -9 are their own point. B is the y-intercept, so that's where the line crosses the y-axis, and the only place it will cross the y-axis is where x equals 0. Here x equals 7, so this point does not cross the y-axis, nor does this. So don't confuse yourself and think you can just pull one of these y's and plug it in. But what you can do is use this entire set of x and y to put into the other side of the equation. We have a y, we have an x. We even have another point. We have an x and a y here too. So we could use either point. But we'll just choose one. So we're going to take this equation here, I have it here, and we'll plug in values that we have. Let's choose this point. So we're going to, a y, we'll use -6 equals, then we have an m, which is -3. And we have an x, so here's our m, and we're going to have an x. We have to, if we use -6, we have to use the x that goes with -6. We cannot switch points in the middle of multiplying. Okay, and we have a b. So we have one variable, and we can solve for the one variable. So first let's simplify -3 times 7, which is -21. So we have -21 plus b equal to -6. And we have to follow our rules for algebra. We have to, since this is subtracted on this side of the equal sign, we must add it to both sides. So we're going to add 21 to both sides. And that will give us 15, positive 15, and will equal b. because this here, minus 21 plus 21 is 0. And our integer rules tell us to find the difference. 21 is a larger number and it is positive. So B is 15. And M is negative 3. So we have an equation for a line now. We use this as our template, the y equals mx plus b. We do not need to use numbers anymore. We can have y, I'll just leave it in red, y equals m, which is negative 3, times the x. We don't need to pull any points, just you leave it as x, because this is now an equation where you can plug any points into to form a line. And then we'll add our b, which is 15. So what we have for the equation of our line is y equals minus 3x plus 15.